Alright, today we're going to do a little SEGA action, SEGA Saturn. I need to test some boards. We'll go through the SEGA a little bit and talk about them. So SEGA Saturn is hard to sell parts off them because first is a Model 1 and a Model 2. Model 1 has the power supply like this on the top cover. So yeah, usually it's on the top cover. The board inside of these is VA0 or VA0.5. But there's also two different power supplies. One has an open connection for depending on the power button, and one has a closed connection on that end over there. So that gives you two different versions of Model 1. Model 2 has 5-pin power supply. It comes on the motherboard, or a 4-pin. And those boards are different. VASD, I want to say, for 5-pin. VA13 maybe for the 4-pin being the last model. This is all set up, but what we're testing is these. So on the Model 1 VA0, VA0.5, it has a daughter board for the disk drive. Model 2 with the 5-pin or 4-pin power supply does not connect right to the motherboard. This also has the ports connected to the motherboard. The 5-pin Model 2 has separate connection for the controller ports. Each one is different. You have to go inside to see what you have first. Just had somebody order the wrong bottom cover, and I even had my main photo. I pointed to the exact thing that was different, and nobody listens to me, so therefore he wanted to return it, but I didn't do that. I haven't heard back from that one. Alright, so this is ready to go. I have just a little wire here set up to do what it's supposed to do. What just happened? Did I unplug it? Oh, I must have something. I was plugging in another plug and unplugged the wire I did. I was plugging in a plug and I unplugged the other wire. I think I did. There we go. Okay, so this is all set up to just play. I use it as a tester. All set up. So disk drives. I found two that actually work. So this is of course, so I say that there's 4 different models of these that makes 4 different types of drives. So this fully works. This is ENR-007. I found 2 that work. I have about 10 of them that don't. Most of them don't spin or do whatever. So what we're doing right now is testing these. So we already know that that one works. So I want to make sure when shipping these that the buyer knows mine worked. That I'm shipping. I'm going to pull this exact one, but I have a few more here. So what we'll do, so we know that works. We don't have to go crazy with it. So the best games for SEGA Saturn, Japan games: Deep Fair, Enemy Zero, Dark Seed 1 and 2. This one's pretty cool too. I don't know, but it doesn't really have a name. Alright, so we're going to pull this closer here so I can pull it apart. I'll just take power out of there for right now. Right this second. Slide this. So we know that this works. I'm confident of that. I had it all set up, ready to go. pull the top cover off of this, and then we'll just swap boards. Pretty simple stuff. Let's see if we can get there. Of course, this is for an order. Everything I do is for an order. So everything revolves around an order at some point. Or something's asking me something about maybe getting something. Alright, so we know that this works. I have 2 drives that work. That makes my life easy. Had to be able to test these drive boards because I think these boards, according to the buyer, he's saying that this is his issue. But I say it's usually this. Or, even more so, the drive board. Just like on GameCube, drive boards are always the problem. You kind of overlook them, you're not really thinking about them, but that's probably where the problem is. Not this. This is the other end of the drive board. But it could be this. Or, even more so, this connects to the motherboard. So, whatever connection components are there, that could be the problem too. You can't just assume one thing or another. You just don't know. Alright, so let's... Cable could be your issue, but the odds of that are very slim. Chasing the cable as your last resort usually means that you have a completely different problem. So this hardly ever fixes anything. Alright, so let's see if we can take this out. This is just stuck over here. It's not, there's no screw hole over here. Put this off for a second. Big fan of the SEGA Saturn. Probably they're all cool. That never comes on. Probably my least favorite is SEGA CD. The games are kind of weird. They have movies in them. But the movies have gotten so old, it's really hard to even play the game. Like Sewer Shark. It's a classic. It has some cool video reels on it. Gotta get to the other stuff here. There's a screw here. I don't need... Yeah, I do. So all I'm gonna do... This will be my tester. And of course, all the motherboards now I've listed. These, the VA0 or 0.5 for the Model 1. I have some 5 pins listed and some 4 pins listed. They're all the Japan models. Just get the thing for the cartridge slot here to take the region out. I lost mine. I gotta find it. Somewhere around here. Try to keep this together so I can just keep popping it back in there. That's how that went. But for right now, today, we're just testing those boards. I'll have them all tested. Therefore, then I don't have to, next time it's an order, I can just say, I think I can take this off without having to pull these off. I think I can. Yeah, I should be able to. So we'll make it an easy swap. Swap and test. I don't know electronics. I don't do board work. But I can swap and test. That's one right there too I missed. So this right now is going to be my tester. So if someone orders another board, I've got one ready to go or already tested, right? Pretty simple stuff. Everything I do is really easy. Easy peasy. Yeah, so all we're going to do is, so we know that works. That already gives me my order right here. This. But while we're here, we might as well do a couple more. I haven't found a board, one of these, that didn't work yet. So I don't know what it does or does not do. Probably I would assume it's not reading the disc. Not sure. Haven't actually seen, like if I put one of these in there, here, different, and it does something weird, then I could say, okay, that's what they do. But I haven't seen that yet. So I don't know what the weird problem is that it does. So again, this is VA 0.5. 0.5. I don't know what the difference between VA0 and VA0.5 is, but that's the only two that I've seen in the Model 1. Everything is one board. There's two clips here and here. So I already have my order, so that's done. I got a lot of orders. Today's Monday, so I have a lot of orders waiting to come out. So this is done. This is the one we just pulled. We just saw it work. It tested. Alright, let's see if I can get a little production line going here. Just test a few of these for the video. Pretty much. Screws right now. So I should just be able to do something. This one I know I already used. I think. This one I'm pretty sure was another tester I had before this one. So I'll skip that one right now. We'll just throw a couple more on and see what happens. Cables come off like that. Connection is there. Technically, I don't even need that bottom piece on, I don't think. Should just be able to put the drive on top. I think I need this actually. The more I can do things bare bones, the better. Much more fun. I think it'll just sit on top of this. Yeah. I don't want this. I don't want it to touch anything. Goes back on here. And this will be my base tester as things get ordered. Then I can just pull stuff ready to go. Let's get this out of there. I don't need this. Unless I don't think I do. Once in a while, something needs to be grounded, though, so I gotta be careful. Well, no, because all of a sudden it won't work, and I'll be like, what? Oh, I need a cable. Let's see how these go on. This goes on this way. This way. I have to see this first. Blue tab. And this has edge-to-edge connector, as I call it, edge-to-edge. It's either a flip door or it's an edge-to-edge. Sometimes they pull forward. Always got to see what you got going on there. You think it's a flipper and you flip it and you break it. Then you break the connection and you're done. So this is an edge-to-edge, but sometimes the edge-to-edge are up. Sometimes edge-to-edge is out. Right? Never know what you're going to do here. But we're determined that this is an edge-to-edge up. Right? Took me a long time to learn about Saturns. Because there's so many different ones, I still haven't gotten all the different. There's also a 4-pin, a second 4-pin disk drive that has a little extra sideboard. I haven't found it, but I got the board that has the extra connection on it. It's weird. Again, you have to go inside. Just never assume anything on these. Even the back numbers, there's 2 letters there sometimes. All that stuff. Just don't even look at that. Open it up. because I'm sure at some point I'm going to get a bad feedback because a buyer ordered the wrong one, and I was like, I'm sorry, but I had it detailed. You needed to go inside, and you didn't. So those come back to bite me, but what am I going to do? So now we're back to where I was. New drive board, or daughter board, I should say. Let's see if we can slide this over a little bit. I've got a lot of. I also tested all of. One day I spent on a video and I did, I don't know, 30 of all the different models. I have a lot of these that do not fully work, and none of them did I find, if I pulled this off, would not work, meaning usually no video, it doesn't boot. I never found this causing. Sometimes these things can cause a motherboard problem, but then you remove it and put a better one on, a working one, and then all of a sudden it works again. A good example of that is the original Xbox One. Some of the Philips, there's 2 Philips drives in the original Xbox. One of those Philips drives, that board causes a defective board inside that causes the Xbox to act as if it has no power. Swap the drive out with a different drive, and then all of a sudden your Xbox works. So that's an example. A different board somewhere can cause other problems. These, I have not seen them do anything yet. So let me... Although, yeah, just... What did I not notice right away? Why didn't that work? Here I am saying, I might have just found one already. This is not working. Why is that? That's to there, that's to there. Interesting. Maybe this is what it does. Look at, I've got nothing going on. It's unexpected. Right. This fully works. So what just happened? What did I do? Did I do something? Power to here to here. Alright, so now it's a little bit of a pain to swap these. Interesting. That threw me for a loop. I should just stop playing like it did before. So maybe these cause no power, no spin, or no activation, I should say. I don't know. Let's try another one. Where's the one I said I had that worked? This one. I do roll just right like this. Yeah, I should be able to. I'm not doing something. I think the cable would be the power. Something happened and I haven't figured it out yet. Ooh. So that must be the ticket right there. So I'm going to say that something on this. Oh, cool. I found it doesn't work. Yay. Now I can know when somebody says, oh, it doesn't work. Now I know what they mean. So nothing, so there's no activation between here, between this and that. We'll put that one back in a minute. That one works. Oh, that's cool. That really helped me out. Makes doing this a little bit better now. Alright, so now let's do this. I haven't sold this cable yet, but I will. This, we know that works. This is all in question now, but I thought I saw weird pins. No, I didn't see weird pins here. Alright, so let's identify what's going on here. Oh, cool. That was a game changer right there for me. I never knew what they didn't do. People were ordering them, and now I know. Unless, no, cable's got to be the same. Again, cable being an issue is so slim. The odds are so small. Let me just put this one. That one doesn't work. We'll just play around with these a little bit. That's all I'm doing. I gotta do it on Nintendo Wii as well, but disk drive. So I swapped the cable so that I can test the cable. That's what we did. Okay, we're still. There's no battery, so there's no battery there. So that one doesn't work. Yeah, if you can get one that works and then another one that doesn't, it gives you the idea of what it's not doing. And that makes a huge difference. So now we can just do this. Move my production line along a little bit more. So this is another working one. I found one that doesn't work. So that means at some point, one of these Saturns didn't play games, and that's why, because of this. Interesting. I always learn something new. That's why I do it. Alright, so that one works. Right, so we got 4 to test. So let's do that. Now that we understand everything here, just a matter of swap and go. It may cause other issues, but we'll see. I've got many of them that I tested not to work, that I need to pull all of these boards. Just make sure that somewhere I didn't miss that this was causing a motherboard problem, which is very possible. I think I had a whole, like over 10 that didn't work. Doesn't get to the boot screen for whatever reason. VA0 or VA1. I mean VA0 or VA0.5. As long as this is activating that. We're going to go back and retest this one here. The one that didn't work, just to make sure I didn't mess up. We're good. Yeah, it has to all work first. That's the hardest part. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find one of these drives that worked, and I found 2. This one too works. Okay, so we know that's all right. Good enough. We're just doing drive boards right now. Daughter boards, I should say. So remember, it has to go through this board, through that cable, and then into that board. That's a lot of communications that can go wrong. Okay, so that one's good. It's pretty easy to swap these. Certainly wasn't going to put the metal back on. That would have been a pain in the buns. Sitting there swapping metal every time. Heck no. I definitely wasn't going to do that. So I have at least 4 that work. One got ordered yesterday. And I told the buyer I would. She said, "Are you sure it works?" I said, "Well, let me do this. I'll make a video and I'll show you it works." That's what I'll do. That's normally what I do now. Right, you can't prove more than showing a video working. Alright, that one's fine. Well, and by going back to that one, let's see if that one, maybe I just didn't have it in there right or something. Or, maybe this comes edge to edge. It's got to come out of there. Really, the only thing holding up is these little clippy things. That's the hardest part, getting off. Okay. That's another one. And after this, I need a Nintendo Wii disc drive. So we're gonna get to go through some Wii action after. Make sure that's in edge to edge. It's pretty simple stuff there. Drives usually will either they don't spin at all, or they'll spin but they'll never get they'll never get the thing moving there. All that action there. I've got a box full of these. The ENR007s that do not work for whatever reason. Alright, so that's pretty cool. Good there. So let's do this last one, and we'll double back to that broken one. See if I just made a mistake of putting it in or something. Yeah, so that's 4 plus the 1 I already did ready to go out. 5. I bought a whole bunch of SEGA Saturns 5 or 6 years ago, and I've been still picking apart at them since. Just started getting to the motherboards and everything now. Disk drives just assume they don't work, but on these it could be this. We might have found one, but I don't know yet. Now on a roll. Alright, so we're going to assume, actually we can go past assume and proved that these all work. Except for that one. I'm going to recheck now. And then this is all set up, ready to retest more stuff. Or if I get an order for a motherboard, I can just pull this board right here. It's ready to go. Again, I have a few 5 pins. And 4 pins. 4 pin being the least common, so not many order for those. So this works too. Alright, let's go back to this one, which we said had an issue, but maybe it just wasn't on right. Let's see. Definitely on there. Pretty easy to put it back into place. It really only sits in one spot, so you don't want to jam it in there either. Ruin the connection on the motherboard, you're done. Alright, so this should tell me, maybe I just had it weird. So yeah, see now it works. Must not have it right in the position. So they all do work. Thought they did. Maybe it's something in my So I'm not really sure. I'm still unknown on what those boards cause a problem, but I don't have any. So I'll leave this one on. I'll keep retesting this. I only have working ones, as we've done. I don't know what this game is. Got some cool thing. Watch that for a couple minutes. Let's hit the start button. I have no idea what kind of gameplay this has. I've only watched the intro. I've never done anything further. Let's check it out.
昨夜未明、市内各所で目撃された謎の生物の手がかりは依然つかめておらず、地域住民の不安が高まっています。目撃者の証言では、この生物について西洋の悪魔のような姿であるという声も、現場周辺での調査が続いています。こうした中、捜査当局では、同夜起こった連続殺人事件との関連もあるのではないかとして、引き続き付近の住民に警戒を呼びかけています。
This is a net game? Unexpected. What is this? No. Of course, this is in Japan, so it's really hard to understand. Do I actually have a character? I don't know what this is. Go to end. That's all I can do. Oh, I think I have to type in characters. I've never tried this game. I don't know what it's about at all. I think I have to put in words. No? No? Oh, there it is. Okay. End? I don't know what to do. Oh, that's definitely not it. Huh. I wonder what I gotta do. And no. Start. Hitting all the buttons. I'd like to see what the gameplay on this is, but I just can't seem to get to it. That one's going. There's a code up there. It's asking for 3 different places to do stuff. Oh well. Not sure. So that's as far as I've gotten.